So just imagine, you're at work for how many hours a day? Probably 8 hours a day, and you're sitting down at your desk. You're sitting, and you're sitting, and you're sitting. Maybe you're typing a little, talking on the phone. Then you eat, right? Everyone sits at their desk and they eat. And then before you know it, you're fat. You get fatter and fatter and fatter. That's what happens when you go to work and you just sit at a desk and eat all day. Well, our current guest, Steve Bordley, invented the TrekDesk to take advantage of the 50 million existing treadmills that are underutilized in the U.S. today. His mission is to launch a movement revolution that educates Americans to the amazing benefits of walking 10,000 steps per day. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kim. My pleasure being here.
So how do we go about walking 10,000 steps per day when we're sitting at our desk eating and typing and eating?
Well, that's one of the biggest challenges, and I think one of the biggest frustrations that Americans have. We get these conflicting messages of we should get 30 minutes of exercise, but we should take 10,000 steps a day, and that's 5 miles.
Right.
And I don't know anybody that can walk 5 miles in 30 minutes. But the first thing I'd point out is that 10,000 steps is a minimum, and Americans get roughly about a third of that on average. We're just not moving, and it's not all their fault. In fact, in most cases, it's not their fault at all. You factor in the long commute times. Some people have an hour and a half commute each way. They get to their office, they sit 8 to 10 hours. They get home, they're exhausted. They have enough time to make a meal, spend some time with their kids, and then they're on the couch. They literally just don't have a chance to move. Now, TrekDesk changes that. The whole idea behind it is to take all these existing treadmills that you mentioned that most people use just to hang their clothes on,
right, and
attach a height-adjustable full-size workstation to it and let people walk while they work. And that's the concept, and it's really catching on.
So this allows you to put your laptop computer on it and your files, and you can work while you walk. Well, wouldn't that be kind of difficult? Are you going to get any work done?
That's the question that we get. Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny. In a generation, we've engineered movement entirely out of our life space, even at work and at home. So I get that question quite a bit. The answer is no. Not only is it not difficult, but it's actually easier to walk while you work. It improves cognitive abilities and memory by as much as 15%, and that's in a 6-month period. That's not my figures. That's directly out of the University of Illinois and Harvard University.
I believe that. I think that if we're just sitting around, we kind of start to get a little bit, our minds get lazy. Not only our bodies, but our minds do. So if you're walking, then the blood flow is going, and your heart rate's a little bit higher, and so you're a little bit more alert, more aware.
You're right, and you're lubricating your joints as well. A lot of people don't realize that stiffness. We have triathletes that use this. In fact, if you follow us on Facebook, our TrekDesk Facebook website, there's a video that features a triathlete and his trainer that really talk about how the problem of their joint stiffness and how the TrekDesk has alleviated that for them. So there's a multitude of benefits that beyond weight loss. Although I should emphasize that you can burn off as much as 2 pounds a week just walking slowly at your desk. So it's pretty significant.
Really, how many hours a day would you have to walk in order to do that?
Well, it depends on where. Everybody's different, when they get into this calorie burn calculation. But you burn about 150 calories an hour to 200. It depends on the elevation or the incline of your treadmill and your size, because everybody burns a different amount. If you're small, you're burning less. But you can burn 1,500 calories in a single day.
Wow. I'm looking on your website right now at TrekDesk.com, and I'm watching the video of the guy walking and working. And I guess something to stress to everyone is that he's walking slow. So it's not like you're working up. I don't think he's working up a sweat. He's actually walking in his dress shoes, like his work. He's at work with his work shoes on, shoes or whatever you guys call them. I don't know what men call those shoes. They're not.
That's a great point, Kim. I'm glad you raised that, because the first thing people say when they find out about this concept is they think they're going to sweat because they equate it with exercise, and they equate exercise with sweating.
Right.
You don't sweat when you walk down the hall, and when you walk down the hall or you walk to get lunch, the average walking speed is somewhere between 2.5 and 3 miles an hour. you walk on a TrekDesk at 1 mile or 1.2 miles an hour.
So you're walking really
number one,
slowly.
you don't sweat.
Right.
And you don't need special shoes, although I use sneakers. I mean, I use tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And you'll find that you're more comfortable. But walking slowly, you really don't. And we sell these to, originally we designed this for the home office, but we sell about 20-25% to corporate offices across the country.
Wow, that is really cool. The TrekDesk.
So, yeah, there's Fortune 500 companies that are using it as well.
Are you walking while talking to me right now?
I am. I'm always walking. It's kind of habit forming.
Okay. So how much does this cost, the TrekDesk?
The TrekDesk is $479, and that includes free shipping anywhere in the lower 48 states.
Oh, wow. Does it include the treadmill?
It does not.
Oh, so
and if you can find a treadmill that they want to sell you for $479, you might want to run the other way. There's some great deals at Costco for treadmills, for example, and those run typically around $800.
Okay.
You don't want to skimp because the magic of this walking while working really exists in the treadmill itself.
Okay. Well, your health is worth it. So, I mean, I hear you on that. This is really, really cool. I want to get one for my house and start walking. Jill, I'm going to make you do this.
Well, yeah, it's a good way to lose weight, restore your health, prevent disease, and improve your mood and boost your productivity.
Wow, it sounds great. All right, Steve, thank you so much. Steve Bordley, he invented the TrekDesk, which allows you to walk while you work. I mean, burn tons and tons of calories. You potentially lose lots of weight. Go to the website, TrekDesk.com. Thanks for joining us. It's Your Time with Kim Iverson.